Musk wants to control these things, and what Trump promised Musk is that Musk will be in charge of the regulations and the businesses that Musk owns. So we've all seen this. These are guys that don't want to pay overtime. They're folks that don't want to have worker safety. These are folks that want to bust unions. He and Trump sat on there and were on tape saying when people strike, we should just fire them all. That's who these people are.
Tim Walz is now saying about Trump supporters, and forgive me, I'm just reading a quote from Tim Walz, I think I can kick most of their ass.
I think out of nowhere, Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz drops a truth bomb so spicy, it singes Elon Musk's ego and somehow sets Donald Trump's hair on fire too. 1 minute, Walz is minding his Midwestern manners. The next, he's calling out tech. Bros and reality TV presidents like it's open mic night at the Capitol. Musk flinched, Trump fumed, and the internet absolutely lost it. What did Walz say that triggered 2 billionaires at once? Buckle up, because this one's a political plot. Twist! Before we move on, smash that like button and subscribe because you know you don't want to miss out on this one. Tim Walz stood at the podium like a man reading bedtime stories to chaos, calm, collected, and mildly unbothered by the storm. He was about to summon. He adjusted the mic, not for dramatic effect, just to be polite, and said evenly, "If billionaires want to run the country, maybe they should try paying taxes first." Elon Musk, somewhere deep in his bunker of Teslas and ego, reportedly stopped mid-tweet, blinked 4 times, and then fired off 12 fragmented posts involving a frog meme, ancient Rome, and the word woke, used no fewer than 9 times. Neuralink still hasn't figured out how to make people chill yet, clearly. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, fresh off trying to trademark "God bless me," turned an alarming shade of creamsicle and launched into a truth social tirade that looked like it had been typed with boxing gloves on. He accused Walz of being jealous, socialist, ungrateful, and bizarrely, suspiciously tanned for a Minnesotan.
And that's not a joke. Well, look, I'm not going to waste all the time I'm in. I'm going to talk about his running mate. His running mate, Elon Musk. Elon's on that stage, jumping around, skipping like a dipshit on these things. You know it. Think about it. Think about that. That guy is literally the richest man in the world, spending millions of dollars to help Donald Trump buy an election.
Sources confirmed the post was edited 6 times because he couldn't spell governor without autocorrect changing it to Grosvenor. Now, Tim Walz isn't exactly the guy you'd expect to roast billionaires into oblivion. He's a pragmatic Midwest dad with policy papers and sturdy shoes. But this moment, oh, it hit like a protein-packed granola bar of truth. It wasn't flashy, it was fatal. The quiet confidence, the Midwestern shrug, the implication that maybe, just maybe, the people launching rockets and selling flamethrowers shouldn't also be deciding educational policy and pandemic response. The internet, of course, went absolutely feral. Let's be real, this wasn't just about taxes. It was about the growing tension between actual elected officials and rich dudes with Twitter accounts and savior complexes. Walz basically held up a polite little mirror and said, "Hey, maybe democracy shouldn't be decided by vibes and vanity, metrics." And somehow, that was the deepest cut of all. Now we've got 2 men, worth a combined GDP of several small countries, both acting like Tim Walz keyed their yacht. And Walz? He's still out here governing, sipping lukewarm coffee, and not tweeting through it. The man poked the richest bears in the woods and then casually went back to doing his job. Tim Walz isn't a headline guy. He's more of a cleanup after the event kind of guy. The governor of Minnesota doesn't usually...
If you were a billionaire like his good buddy Elon Musk, things were really good because you got a tax cut, the rest of us got screwed. That's the way it worked during that time. Now, Elon says he is going to be, and Trump says that he's going to be Trump's economy czar. Now, he says to make the economy work better, we're going to have to crash it first in order to save it. Now, he told you, get ready. Elon said, American folks, you're going to go through some hardships. Now you tell me, what the hell does the richest man on earth know about hardship?
Walz said that socialism is just another word for neighborliness. She wants to be, he calls them neighbors, good neighbors. He signed a bill to give illegal aliens free health care. He abolished Columbus Day. He ordered tampons to be put into boys' bathrooms. Do we have any children here? Please close your ears. He ordered tampons in boys.
Enter political theater with a flamethrower. He brings a spreadsheet, a thoughtful pause, maybe a fleece vest. His vibe is public school principal meets dad who actually reads local ballot measures, which makes it all the more absurd that he now shares a headline with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Elon, who's been spiraling ever since he spent $44 billion to turn Twitter into a poorly lit subreddit. The man has gone from tech visionary to the guy who live tweets at 3 a.m. about ancient Greek philosophy.
He's a menace. He is an unelected billionaire, and to have him put himself out there, he said that race will determine the direction of the country and how popular President Trump is, and it would determine the direction of Western civilization. If that's true, I'm glad to say that the oligarchs lost, democracy won, and we're in better space than we were yesterday. So I have pretty strong feelings about that, and I'm really proud of Wisconsin.
Philosophy and beef jerky shortages. He renames Twitter to X, confuses everyone, and then acts surprised when advertisers flee like it's a fire drill. He's the richest man in the world and somehow still has the digital poise of a sleep-deprived Reddit mod. And then there's Donald Trump, the one-man news cycle. He could be trapped in an elevator and still find a way to release a press statement, blaming windmills. The man's been running on a platform of I'm still mad for nearly a decade. He's got a full-time grudge budget. So how do these three end up in the same chaotic group chat of public discourse? One sentence from Walz. That's how? The calmest guy in the room drops a logic bomb about billionaires needing to pay taxes before running the country. And suddenly, Elon and Trump are fighting over who gets to be the most offended. It's like a political version of one of these things is not like the other. Walz shows up with policy points and Midwestern humility, while Musk and Trump are two drama magnets cosplaying as public servants. Elon's tweeting diagrams no one asked for, and Trump's declaring war on maple syrup. Meanwhile, Walz just wants to talk about school funding. And yet here we are, 3 men, 1 mic, 0 chill. The strange magic of the moment is that Walz didn't raise his voice, didn't throw shade. He just did the most dangerous thing a public official can do in 2025. He made sense. And that, apparently, is the new political provocation. It's like watching someone calmly push over a house of Jenga blocks made of ego, and the noise it made was deafening. Now, everyone's watching Walz like he's the unexpected wild card, wondering if the quiet guy with the facts might actually be the biggest disruptor of them all. It was the kind of moment that starts as a ripple and ends in a tsunami. Governor Tim Walz, the mild-mannered Midwesterner best known for governing without drama or tweet storms, made a comment so grounded, so shockingly rational, it sent Elon Musk and Donald Trump into a tailspin. And no, he didn't shout. He didn't throw shade with a meme. He simply told the truth out loud in a tone that sounded more like a weather report than a viral takedown. That was the power of it. He was standing at a press conference talking about public trust, infrastructure, or something equally boring by Twitter standards when he pivoted into a brief but brutal assessment of the billionaire distraction syndrome, infecting American politics. Not as saviors, not as misunderstood geniuses, but as men whose egos have outpaced their usefulness. That was it. No theatrics, no profanity, just a clean Midwestern mic drop. And within hours, it detonated across the internet. Musk, predictably, short-circuited. The man who built an empire on rockets, batteries, and impulse control issues couldn't handle a governor from Minnesota pointing out that maybe turning Twitter into a digital wasteland of trolls, bots, and banned journalists wasn't helping. Democracy thrive. Musk fired off a string of erratic posts within minutes. Something about free speech, something about deep state interference, something about how Tim Walz clearly doesn't understand innovation because he's never launched a car into space. Classic Musk deflection. His followers rallied, accusing Walz of being jealous, irrelevant, and, in one incredible thread, a lizard person. But nothing landed. Walz didn't engage. He didn't respond. He let Elon spiral because sometimes silence is louder than a million tweets. But it wasn't just Musk who lost his grip. Trump, never one to miss a perceived insult or a chance to make someone else's moment about himself, dove headfirst into the firestorm. Even though Walz's comment wasn't even aimed directly at him, Trump treated it like a personal betrayal. Within hours, a Truth Social post appeared that read like it was ghostwritten by an angry Florida retiree hopped up on Fox News and Diet Cola. Trump accused Walz of disrespecting America's greatest innovators, being part of a secret cabal determined to destroy free enterprise, and of being too boring to be on television. The post was unhinged, even by Trumpian standards, but again, Walz said nothing, which of course made it worse. Trump and Musk don't know what to do with a target that won't fight back. They're used to outrage. They feed on it. They build empires on it. But Walz refused to give them what they needed. He just kept doing his job, and that to them is unforgivable. The full quote, which made its way into every headline from Politico to TikTok, was simple. When you have individuals with massive platforms using them to promote misinformation, personal grudges, and conspiracy theories, the damage isn't just political, it's cultural. It eats away at public trust. That's not leadership, that's narcissism with a budget. And then he smiled, that calm, infuriating Minnesota smile that says, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. He didn't even name Trump until later, when a reporter asked him directly what he thought of the former president's reaction. Walz paused, then said, I think the last time Donald Trump told the truth, he accidentally walked into the wrong wedding. Boom. That was the moment. The quiet detonation that confirmed what everyone suspected. This wasn't a fluke. Walz had receipts, and he wasn't afraid to use them. He went on to calmly list Trump's record, not with fire and brimstone, but with bullet point clarity. His attacks on democratic institutions, his attempt to overturn an election, his embrace of extremism, his endless grift disguised as patriotism. He said it like he was reading the side effects of a particularly dangerous medication, may cause chaos, civil unrest, and hallucinations of grandeur. It wasn't a rant, it was an audit, and that's what made it lethal. Trump responded, of course, he always does. Trump sees his name trending alongside Musk and immediately assumes the internet is finally recognizing what he's always believed, that he's the center of the billionaire universe. No context, no curiosity, just full send into ego mode. Before anyone can even finish explaining what Walz actually said, he's already rage posting on Truth Social like a teen who just got unfollowed. Walz was tossing a polite truth grenade into Elon's orbit, but Trump still manages to stumble out of his gold-plated bunker like he personally got smacked in the face with a frying pan. It's textbook Trump. Jump into a conversation you weren't invited to, dominate it with volume and insults, and spin the narrative until he's the misunderstood hero with a grudge and a golf club. The irony? Nobody hit him. He dove face-first into the scene like a soap opera character fainting on purpose just to get attention, and it worked. Now we're all watching him again, exactly how he likes it. What came next was even funnier. Elon and Trump, two men who have nothing in common except the size of their egos and their allergy to accountability, started subtly trying to outrage each other. Musk hinted that maybe governors should be elected via Twitter polls. Trump countered by posting an old photo of himself with better hair and worse lighting. It was like watching two high school seniors fight over prom queen. But what made it stick wasn't just the content of Walz's remarks, it was the contrast. Against Musk's erratic rants and Trump's sweaty monologues, Walz looked like the only adult in a room full of toddlers fighting over who gets the bigger sippy cup. Tim Walz didn't go viral because he tried. He went viral because he didn't. And that in 2025 might be the wildest flex of all. And this story, it's nowhere near done. Because what Tim Walz just accidentally pioneered is the political equivalent of a mic drop meditation. It's not about screaming louder, it's about landing a truth so solid it echoes. Other politicians are taking notes. The quiet confidence, the data-backed jab, the refusal to roll in the mud when you can just pave over it with logic. It's becoming a cultural shift, one where dignity still resonates, even in the age of TikToks, Twitter tantrums, and whatever Elon's app is calling itself this week. He didn't meme. He just said something true and let the billionaires combust like a pair of malfunctioning Roman candles. It's a reminder, and maybe even a warning shot, to the performance-obsessed elite. In a world of chaos, merchants, and egomaniacs, sometimes the sharpest weapon is a calm voice and one well-aimed truth.